In this episode I'm just going to be looking at the Dynamis Ultima and comparing it to the original Dynamis. This is the installation procedure for the Dynamis Ultima. For this procedure you only need a standard printer lead, standard USB printer lead. You plug this into the Dynamis like this. Then you plug the other end into the computer. Here's the computer. We plug that in. Right. Now you see here we need to go to the Windows globe, then we go to Control Panel, and then we go to Hardware and Sound, then we go to Device Manager. Device Manager, and we click on that. Click on Device Manager, and if you look here you will see it will say FT232 USB UART. Now that is incorrect. It means that the driver has not been installed, so we have to right click on that and go to Update Driver Software. Then you have to go browse my computer for the relevant software. So then you go browse, and then we go to I've got this software, a removable stick. That's not there, it's the wrong one. I've got to plug this into the computer. That's right. Right, so now integral 2F, which is the file. The folder I want is called CDM 2.12 WHL certified. Right, so I click on that, and I click on OK. Right, so now I go to next. And it says installing driver software. Wait a minute, Windows can't verify. Let's install this driver software anyway. Right, so that will now install. Now it says Windows has successfully updated your driver software. Now we see in the device manager the ports COM and LPT. It says USB serial port COM4. So you need to make a note of which COM port has been chosen, because you need to set that in the Railcontroller software in a moment. If the procedure to install the software does not work, just repeat the procedure a second time. So now we need to go to the Dynamis Railcontroller program, and it says allow. Right. So now, once this is loaded in, we need to go up to here. So now I've loaded in the Railcontroller software, and I'm just going to push up this throttle. And if we go to the layout room, we can see that the blue Pullman is running, which proves it all works. We've got a problem now. This here, when we change the speed, it doesn't respond. I've put this down to nothing, but the train's still running happily away. The train's still running happily away, even though the it's been set to nothing here. So we're now going to exit. And interestingly, that the train continues to run even though the Railcontroller program is no longer working. Now this is the evaluation version of Railmaster, which only allows you to enter 2 locomotives, so you can't retest it very well. An interesting feature of this is that if you create an entry for a locomotive, then that locomotive then appears on the Dynamis handset. If I click here, the new locomotive window will appear. That out of the way. And we enter here, you can see if you enter the value here, 402, which is the class, the bill train, and I save it. Now when I come into the layout room, it says to reset the locomotive list. If I press the tick box here, let's go near to the you'll see that location 402 has appeared on the Dynamis controller, which is this to-bill train. So if I now press the throttle, you see it works. However, if you create an entry on the computer, that entry then appears on the Dynamis handset, but the reverse process doesn't apply. So if you delete a location from the Dynamis handset, it does not delete it on the computer. This lesson could be subtitled doing railway modelling with the help of a cat. There is this, that's the 402 class which I've got running, but you can see that this is, for some reason, it doesn't work. And also you notice that there seems to be an artifact here in this, if you compare it to this window here, for some reason this is not displayed correctly. It does not control the train, whereas this one is displayed correctly here, and it does control the train. But I do not know if this is because this is just the evaluation version of Railmaster, or is for some other reason. My initial impression of this program is it actually isn't much good. I spent yesterday creating this track plan of the layout there. It is similar to Hornby E-Link Railmaster program, but it's very limited. It doesn't allow you to read back CVs, and it doesn't allow you to do quite a lot of things that you can do with the E-Link. But I mean, having said that, you've got the fact that it does appear in a window of its own, so you can have this on your screen with other programs running, which you can't do with the E-Link. First of all, here is the original Dynamis. You get the hand controller, the base station, and the power supply. Now, if we move across to the Dynamis Ultima, you similarly get the base station and the handset the same here, but you also get this evaluation copy of Railcontroller, and you get this power supply. Now, if you compare the two power supplies, you will see you get a more beefier power supply with the Dynamis Ultima than you do with the old Dynamis. The two handsets supplied are absolutely identical in every way. So either the handset from your older Dynamis can be used with the new Dynamis and vice versa. Obviously, if you buy the Dynamis Ultima in addition to the old Dynamis, it means that two people can operate the layout at the same time, or one person can operate the points while the other person drives the loco. What you have to do is, to make sure they don't get mixed up, you have to set one handset to number 1, and the other one will be left on the old setting, which is number 0. And also, you have to change the base station ID from a 0 to 1. Now here, you have to put a little link in here. I've moved it a bit closer. Yeah. You have to fit this link to this end thing here, and that makes the it have a base ID of 1, which means it will not be confused between the two things. Now this, you also get this thing here, which is which allows you to plug in additional receivers around the layout. You can either fit this receiver directly to the top of the base, as with this, or you can just fit it on top of this. It doesn't matter if you fit this underneath here, because it just makes it a bit taller. You can see if you put the two Dynamises side by side, you can see that it makes the infrared receiver stand up a bit higher, but above buildings on your layout. So it's up to you whether you bother to fit that. But I've fitted it because I thought I might lose it or something. Turning around to the back of the unit, you can see that the two things are identical, except that here these spaces are just blank. Here we've got a USB port and a booster port, an ECOS link port, and also there is a programming track output. On the old Dynamis, there is a socket, the same, but it doesn't. It just connects to the same. This socket and this power track connector are the same electrically. It's just there's no separate things. But with this Dynamis Ultima, you get this additional socket, which is independently of this track output, and you can connect, as illustrated here, connect this to a programming track, and that allows you to determine what the locomotive's number is, which is something you could not do with the old Dynamis. So that's really the only advantage, is it gives you a programming track, where the old Dynamis does not. This Railcontroller is, I don't think it's worth paying the money for. I've tried using the evaluation version and it really is not very interesting. I mean, it has potential if they develop it further, but as things stand, I don't think it's worth paying the money they are asking for it. That's about all then.